Hello everyone, welcome back to Where We Are. Today we are exploring a fitness movement that's changing how people move, heal and live. Let's welcome Shweta.
Hi.
So, Pilates आपकी लाइफ में कैसे आया?
Pilates. So I was having a severe back pain and I was visiting orthos, physios for a year almost. And it still didn't subside. It would just go away for some time and then come back in different part of the body, sometimes neck, shoulder, sometimes wrist. Then I visited a spine specialist who did some scans and said that this is primarily the core strength that is poor, and then because of which your posture is getting compromised, and this is causing all the issues. So try Pilates. That's
Okay.
how Pilates entered in my life.
Nice. कोई पर्टिकुलर मोमेंट जो आपकी लाइफ में आया कि अब फुल टाइम पिलाटेस ही करना है?
There was no such particular moment. It was all gradual. So when I started Pilates and felt those changes just in a few months, I was in love with Pilates as a practitioner, and I continued for a year. Then I did some workshop and then some courses along with it, and then I went back to my IT job. I practiced Pilates even then, and then during my second pregnancy and after my second born's birth. In this whole process, somehow I realized that I want to be a Pilates trainer, and it was very gradual.
Correct. What made you open your own studio?
Again, so I started giving some Pilates classes in and around my groups. When I decided that I'm going to join a Pilates studio, first lockdown happened in within 8 days,
Okay.
and my joining obviously got cancelled because the studio closed. Then it took me to freelancing. Basically, I started my own online classes, and from there, after online classes continued during COVID, I then rented few of clubhouses in Aminora Township where I stay. I took the classes in at least 2 to 3 societies, and then from there I got one reformer. Gradually, I converted a room. Then it was little faster afterwards because of the response from my clients that I got second chair and then another reformer, tower, everything. So and now we have a very
setup.
cozy, comfy setup where we have usually maximum 2 participants,
Okay.
but it is still like the kind of group that I like to cater, a
Right.
small size.
Right. Nice. For someone hearing about Pilates for the first time, ये exactly क्या है?
Pilates is low impact functional workout.
Okay.
So, functional workout is a workout that helps you move efficiently. So, it trains your muscles in different movements so that certain muscles. So everybody has a left and right.
Right.
Usually one side is dominant and the other side isn't. We call it smarter side. So the dominant side gets tighter, the smarter side, because it doesn't participate in the movements, it slowly starts getting weaker, and this imbalance creates a lot of issues. So building that balance, building smaller muscle groups as well. So it's not just like just strength, just mobility. It's about moving efficiently when it comes to a good functional movement. And variety of functional movements that we do involve a lot of muscle groups. One of the core concept of Pilates is that all the movements that you do come from your core muscles.
Okay.
We call it powerhouse. So that is the main idea, that you connect your core in all the movements and you move efficiently. The reason why it is called low impact is because the chances of getting injured are very low.
Okay.
The equipments help you be in better alignment, which reduces the possibility of injuries.
Nice. Why is Pilates gaining so much popularity suddenly?
Well, because now suddenly people have started asking questions like, how can I feel better physically as well as mentally. Now they're not just asking, uh, how I look.
Hmm.
They're also now the idea of being fit used to be those big bulky muscles and a little tighter movements and tighter bodies. That is not cool anymore. That is not the definition of fitness, but it is rather a lean muscle. It is rather efficient movement that people look for. And that's why, from athletes to even sedentary job people, or from new moms to menopausal women, or from teenagers rather, and all of us are using phones, using devices. Most of us sit a lot,
Right.
which is creating postural issues in all age groups and all professions. So this is where Pilates is helpful to all of them, and that's why I think Pilates is getting popular.
मेक सेंस. पिलाटे किसे ज़रूर करना चाहिए ट्राई?
Pilates सबको try करना चाहिए.
Be it male or female?
Yes, men should definitely try Pilates. Rather, Pilates was designed for men.
Okay.
By a man. So Joseph Pilates himself was a man, and he designed it for injured soldiers. So this concept of, because it just looks a little pretty and graceful, is not that it is for women. Rather, if it is mobility, then men definitely need it a lot. A lot of men who come to my classes, they find it equally challenging, or rather more challenging. So as they say, like, the workout that you need most is the one that you find difficult.
Right.
So, yes, men definitely. And then all age groups, all, like, women, I would say new moms, before getting pregnant, during pregnancy, particularly postpartum, a lot of postpartum women come, and the kind of physical and mental health is at toss during that time because of the hormonal changes and
Right.
a lot of things. Pilates is a good stabilizer for them,
Okay.
and I think everybody should try at least once before, and how it suits them.
Understood. Pilates versus gym and Pilates versus yoga. क्या difference है?
Differences बहुत सारे हैं, but Pilates versus gym is generally about how strong the muscle is, right? It is
Right.
about building strength. So it is about building that force. So it tells your muscles how much force to put or how much power to use. While Pilates is about movement, it is telling you how efficiently we can move. And it need not be with a lot of strength. Efficient movement need not be with, strength or force or power.
Right.
It could simply be, using a little mobility or even the smaller muscle groups.
Okay.
So that's the difference between gym and Pilates in a layman's language.
Okay.
Pilates and
And
yoga difference. A lot of people who still meet me ask me if it is yoga.
okay.
They still think that it is a different variation or modern variation of yoga, which is expensive as well add to it. So, um, but Pilates and yoga is more about, it comes from the spiritual background.
Okay.
Pilates and yoga both are similar in a way that they work on mind body connection. But yoga is more about that union of mind and body.
Okay.
Rather, yoga is not yogasanas, yoga is way of life, right? While Pilates was always designed for efficient movements, it was designed that the injured soldiers could move better, use their muscles nicely, and so it's more precise and controlled movements that it has always focused on. Along with it, there is an emphasis on breathing so that you engage your core better. There is emphasis on, because of that breathing and a lot of balance challenge that is involved, which is also in some of the yoga asanas. So because of equipments, there is a balance challenge in Pilates, and which adds a lot of focus, a lot of coordination, a lot of balance challenge, which engages core. So these are some of the differences, I would say. It's more about movement, and that one is more about how wholesome health or wholesome wellness is.
Okay, okay. Can Pilates help with weight loss?
Yes, Pilates can help with weight loss definitely, because when you start Pilates, you feel better stamina, you feel better energy, you feel better mood. So, in general, what we call as NEAT, non exercise activity thermogenesis, this is one parameter of measuring your calorie burn. So
Okay.
that automatically increases because you feel little more mobile and active through the day.
Yeah.
It also adds, in general, a good muscle toning and alignment, which helps you. So if you combine Pilates with gym or Pilates with your cardio workouts, it is like the sustainable weight loss that you can bring.
Okay.
So alone Pilates, yes, if you're not doing anything earlier, but if Pilates with cardio and a good nutritious diet, it altogether will
Make
go towards
wonders.
yeah, yeah.
सो डेस्क जॉब वाले लोग जो है उन्हें उनके लिए पिलाटेस कितना ज़्यादा बेनिफिशियल है?
It is highly recommended for sedentary job people. One of the reasons is, usually what happens is, due to non-active lifestyle, your posture is compromised, your back is stiff, your muscles are tight. You tend to grow round back and look little shorter. So as soon as people, especially like executives who come to my studio, if they feel taller, if they feel little longer spine, they start feeling more confident. And same with, like, any age group in sedentary lifestyle, you start feeling that you are more mobile, you're more active, more energetic, better mood. So this all feels a lot better through the day, instead of feeling sore and tighter, and uh, you know that adds to the low quality of life, right, over the time.
Right.
But if Pilates is added to your lifestyle as a go-to workout, then it helps you change your posture, engage the muscle in a better way. Sometimes people want to go back to their favorite sports and probably just running, but starting off from a non-active lifestyle to going to a sport like that can trigger injuries.
Right.
So it's good idea to start with Pilates at least for a few months, and then slowly navigate your way to your favorite workouts.
Okay. Is that true that sedentary lifestyle makes your height shorter?
Yes, it's not. It makes your height shorter, but slowly you start going into a kyphotic structure, which is round back, and then because your spine is not taller, your spine is little compressed position, your posture is little rounded. You start feeling, and your chin is forward, pigeon chin, neck is not tall and long. So all of that together contributes that you are not looking taller.
Yes. Okay.
It is not that you will grow in length in inches, but yeah, maybe a couple of inches.
Okay.
Uh, it's more that you feel from inside that you are growing taller.
We have to try and understand that better.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what changes do clients notice after a few months of training Pilates?
They definitely talk about how much energy they feel. So I had a mom who used to come to class for a couple of weeks, and then she was like, when I go back home, she used to take an evening class. So when she used to go back home, she was like, I usually go back home and then I'm like, मैं ये भी कर लेती हूँ, मैं ये भी कर लेती हूँ, कल की तैयारी भी कर लेती हूँ. I'm more energetic, and my husband is saying, what happens exactly in that class? Because you're suddenly more energetic and in a good mood.
Right.
That is the first change that people start feeling. Apart from if they have any pains, aches, that disappears like in a week's time.
That's nice. I mean, if people are happy back at home, everything seems more settled now.
Yeah, true, true.
Yeah. पिलाटेस की मेन मशीन्स क्या क्या होती हैं?
Pilates has reformers, which is like most of the people know because of the social media content is primarily on reformers. And then there is combo chair, then there is Cadillac, there is tower, there is barrel. So these are some of the equipments, and then there are many other props that we use
Okay.
to add up to the work.
ओके। पिलाटेस सेशन में इक्विपमेंट्स होते क्यों हैं?
Equipment sessions is how Pilates was designed. So when I said that Dr. Pilates had it for injured soldiers first, it used to be the beds that soldiers were lying down on
राइट।
because they were injured, and then he was a ward boy for them for that hospital. So he added some springs to their bed, and then he would just ask them to put their legs or put their arms and then move that spring or pull it, or so all that is how it first started.
राइट।
And those equipments rather help you uh, you know better align. They give you a precision that you can easily get, so it reduces the chances of injury,
ओके।
and it also helps you move efficiently with the required amount of resistance. It also adds a strength challenge because of the springs that they have, and muscle control is one of the things that it builds very quickly compared to mat pilates, because of, like, for example, in reformer there is a moving carriage, so something that you sit upon, and that moving carriage adds core engagement immediately.
ओके।
So the effectiveness of the workout is a lot better with the equipments.
ओके। ओके। विच इक्विपमेंट इज योर पर्सनल फेवरेट?
Reformer.
व्हाई?
Reformer I like because it's very versatile. I can take a beginner and an athlete both on reformer. I can make it very simple and assisting, and I can make it equally challenging for an even athlete grade person. So that kind of variety and bringing, every class with a different challenge, a different move, even though like it's flexion and extension, but then there are different ways you can do it. So all of that variety is great on reform.
ओके। पिलाटेस इंस्ट्रक्टर होने का सबसे रिवॉर्डिंग पार्ट क्या है?
पिलाटेस इंस्ट्रक्टर होने के रिवार्ड्स तो बहुत हैं, बट वन ऑफ द मोस्ट रिवार्डिंग पार्ट इज द चेंज यू सी इन देयर मूवमेंट्स when you actually hear them telling you how they are walking confidently, they are feeling that confidence, they are feeling taller, they are feeling more energetic, or you know they are doing things that they never thought they would be able to do. And it could simply be, running behind their toddler, or it could be a, trek that they thought will never happen. Even sometimes it's also the reduction of pain that people leave hope and they think that they'll have to go for surgeries, for example knee surgeries and all. And I've seen in the studio that I used to go that there were people whose surgeries got cancelled because they were moving efficiently, their pain had reduced substantially, and they continued with pilates even now.
Amazing. That's amazing. Most common misconception clients have about Pilates.
Common misconception about pilates: one thing that they think is it is just yoga.
Okay.
It is not. And it is, a lot of times they see it is just mobility workout, which is not true. It is functional workout which has a lot of different parameters added. And those who come for pilates, they think that higher the springs, like more springs are there, difficult the workout gets. But
Okay.
a lot of workouts get difficult when you reduce the springs. The difficulty level is highest when there is no spring attached on that carriage.
Okay. That is interesting.
Yeah, that is something really new for, like, those who have not practiced pilates.
Right. Tell us a memorable transformation journey.
Well, there are many. Rather, transformation has happened to most of the clients here that have come at least for 3 months. But one journey that resonates with my own story and I still remember is because the lady was postpartum, 6 months after delivery. She had a lot of muscle pain, and obviously because of being new mom, sleepless nights, and uh, she is, because of the breastfeeding, she is in round back posture. There is further posture issues and pain and not able to get hold of things. And then she started Pilates. She's still coming, and her daughter is two and a half, I think. So that transformation journey from day one, where every movement was she was feeling exhausting and difficult, and now the she is like the permanent support of my work, and you know she is always there.
That's nice.
That's a transformation story that satisfies me the most.
Yeah, it gives you a push to go forward and keep doing what you are doing, right?
Definitely. And then there are many, like there are people who had hip issues, knee issues, back pain, and a lot of them feel that those things have changed. Even now that they are not coming for Pilates, even now when they talk to me, they say that okay, that pain has gone, and I don't know why it was there and where it has gone. So that's one of the things that those acknowledgements.
ट्रू ट्रू। अपना खुद का स्टूडियो ओपन करने का सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज क्या था?
अम, सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज था अवेयरनेस. Investment, yes, but more than that, people are still not aware a lot about what is a functional workout and why should they do it. So building that awareness in and around people in my groups and in the clients and their groups was a challenge. We have done a lot of open houses to let people know and experience and explore how the machines look in real, how it feels when you sit on them. So we do usually at least 2 to 3 times a year an open house where people can visit and try the equipments.
Okay.
And we do mat open houses as well. But it's a journey that now people are slowly getting Pilates as a known word,
Right.
but it has been a struggle initially.
Correct. Fitness trainer or entrepreneur, which role is harder?
Entrepreneur, definitely. Because trainer is something I trained for. I did a lot of courses, and but entrepreneurship was something I learned on the job, and it has a lot of aspects, a lot of layers of work to it. So, as an entrepreneur, you need to work on those finances, the planning, communication, scheduling, then acquisition, retention, marketing. A lot of things that create a platform for the trainer to work on, right? Because trainer, even if trainer is definitely required to be good trainer, but at the same time breaking that ice so that people actually approach you and they take trials or they come and then they stay, they register. It's it's a good amount of work as an entrepreneur.
Yes, yes. How do you build trust with clients?
Well, it is, I would say in simple words, it is by actually caring. So you can't pretend that you care for
Right.
them. But if you care, then you listen to them very carefully and you understand what exactly they need, and accordingly you plan their classes. Rather, you give them a flexibility on schedules so that they are more consistent, because in everybody's life, as you said when we started, like there is no time to work out.
Right.
So add to it, if the trainer is not available, if trainer has her own schedules and little tightness around the schedules, then it is difficult for people to continue that workout however they like, right? So that kind of flexibility and programming, particularly for them, sometimes if they enter with you have programmed something and they enter with a different pain, then you change your program altogether so that it caters what they need today, is how you build trust.
Makes sense. The question everyone asks, Pilates expensive क्यों है?
Expensive is a very relative word, बिकॉज एक्सपेंसिव वो है, एक्सपेंसिव वो प्लान है जो आपने परचेज भी किया और यूज़ ही नहीं किया.
Hmm.
So if you purchase a gym
Membership.
membership in first week of Jan, and then you couldn't use it for a year, then that's super expensive. But so Pilates is highly priced more per session because it is a little personalized. There are very smaller groups that Pilates is given to, and that is for a reason that you have better attention to individuals' alignment and their requirement, and because of that kind of focus, plus then the trainers are so the instructor trainings are quite expensive. There is a lot that the trainer has to learn before planning a Pilates class, and then the equipments are specialized equipments, so they are differently expensive, and there is a good maintenance that they need. Add to it, like before work is a lot because it's a specific program for designed for that particular client. You have a lot of pre-work to do. It's not a general group class where there is a repeated flow, or there is like 4 or 5 flows that you repeat on a circle, and you know there are methods of doing a group workout. Say for example, Mondays are for this, Tuesdays are for this, right? But that's not how Pilates works. It's generally a full body workout, and you change the plan based on what is needed that day,
Okay.
and that makes it little expensive.
Okay.
Or rather, I would say it is exclusive, that you have. So it is how much you want to like. So if you are looking for a personalized and trainer based program which is for a particular targeted goal, then it is not expensive. But if what you are looking for is what matters, I feel. And as I said, like, expensive doesn't matter if pain free efficient movement is the only thing that matters. How much the health has come to your priority is how you relate to how much to spend and not. I have come from history of a lot of scans and pain, and then meeting somebody who could say that no medicine is required, but it is just the movement that you need,
Nice.
was something I would pay for it at any price, right? So it's relative, as I said.
Right. So is Pilates worth the investment? You say yes.
Definitely, definitely worth the investment. But yeah, as I said, like what you are looking for is what matters. If you are looking for a particular goal, if you have postural issues, back pains, if you are looking for core strength, if there is a particular goal in your mind and you are looking for a personalized trainer based class, then definitely this is a good investment. Rather, I would say it is anyways a good investment because Pilates is teaching you how to move. It creates more awareness, and the results are so sustainable that they stay for decades afterwards. They help you, move efficiently. They make you a little aware about postures. So whatever you do afterwards, after doing Pilates, is also a little graceful and more efficient, I would say.
So fitness is not just about looking better, it's about living better.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for sharing your insights with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.